Is Justin Bieber next in line for one of these Holly weird conservatorships? Let's ask the question, ladies and gentlemen, because I was doing some research after discovering about this whole divorce between Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, and there's a lot of conspiracies and a lot of conversations swimming around about the marriage, how the marriage came together, why they were married, why they're getting divorced now. And then I also heard something that had my ear, which is that Kanye West got married to his current wife out of protection from being put in a conservatorship. And then at the same time that Hailey pretty much might be considered to have been used as a tool to steer Justin in the direction of a conservatorship. Why, might you say? Because, and I'm going to do a longer video about this because I'm going to go back through all the details and all the details, because I'm going to link this in with Scientology, because this is where this is going, because Hailey Bieber's dad, who is it Steve Baldwin or the other Baldwin? Can't remember. Hailey Bieber's dad, anyways, deep into this Scientology, deep into all of that, who also happens to be connected to Lou M. Taylor. You guys all know Lou M. Taylor, the one who runs TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, the one who had Britney Spears in the conservatorship, the one who is good friends with who? Kris Jenner, the one who is the business manager for Travis Scott, right? So see how all the dots are starting to connect together, because I was like, okay, so we have Justin, Kanye, they kind of had a moment. Well, actually, we have Lou M. Taylor. She connects to Britney, right? Because she managed Britney. She also connects to Kris Jenner, of which they're good friends, of which, now this is what I have to get back to you guys on the Scientology stuff, because I have to look at the details. But her and Kris, I believe, are both on this board of whatever at this church, right? Or in this Scientology thing. Kris is obviously the mother of the Kardashians, of which Kylie was with Travis, of which Lou M. Taylor is now also being connected to Hailey because of her dad being in Scientology. And so was this all a strategy to get Biebs into Scientology? Because you will notice that one of the reasons why they got married in the first place was because he was going through his kind of spiritual awakening, right? And one thing I've noticed that Scientology does very quickly is get people married. In fact, there was a whole scandal to do with a lot of dancers that's still ongoing. A couple of dancers that I was following, and a group of them, there was like six of them, so 3 couples, and I wish I could remember their names. Haven't seen them in months. Haven't even looked to see if they're still together. And pretty much they got involved in this church because another woman whose sister got involved with this same church, which is also Scientology, came forward, and she was like, she's worried about her sister because her sister's with all these people that she doesn't trust. In fact, it was one of you guys, I think, who brought to my attention. Was it one of you guys? This is an old video, like probably like more than a year old. Anyway, they get involved in this Scientology thing, then they have to get married, then they get separated from their families. And, it's typical cult behavior. You get overworked, overloaded with all of these new things that you're supposed to believe, all of these things that you now need to do. You get separated from the others outside, who then become villainized, or just you see them as the idiots for not being involved in what you're involved in, and so on and so forth. And so all of these dancers, all of a sudden, like 3 couples just got married, famous dancers, right? And choreographers as well. And so then what happened is now, so I'm thinking, I remember that story. And then I'm thinking about Justin and Hailey, and I'm seeing how Hailey and Steve and all these people, including the Kardashians, because she used to obviously hang out with the Kardashians, right, would always be actually going everywhere where Justin was, to the extent one of his super fans, Justin Bieber's actual super fans, right, was reached out to by Hailey back in the past to be like, and then she was asking, where is Justin? Do you know where Justin Bieber is right now? Do you know where Justin Bieber is right now? So it's just nuts, right? So then I thought, they've obviously done what they love to do, which is take advantage of your innocence. They take advantage of your desperation, because this is what Scientology does. That's one thing I know for sure. They take advantage of your desperation or your innocence or your vulnerability, and they get you in on as many deals as humanly possible. And so that by the time you wake up, you're already sold in. Like, somebody corrected me. I thought that I had said previously that in the Scientology, you get, they make people sign that their family and all their children are going to be in Scientology. I think it was for 1,000 years. And then somebody corrected me. Let me just check real quick. Somebody corrected me and said, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I find it really hard to retain information after I've got the revelation. Like, as soon as I understand something and I know what my conclusion is, I forget a lot of the information, which makes doing YouTube really difficult for me, because I have to often go back to my own videos and rewatch them, because I'm like, wait, did I say what I needed to say? Oh, I didn't. Oh, I did. Like, what did I say? Okay, so bear with me, everybody. What video was it? Oh, it must be the Scientology one. Duh. Focus one. Sorry, I just saw another comment that somebody says about I'm a black woman. It's so astonishingly obvious that black folks are way, way, way more racist to white folks. So the white folk have hella patience. That is so funny. Anyway, what am I actually looking for? It was like 1 billion years or something. The reason why I'm checking it, because I figured, no way it was 1 billion years. Oh, it's 1 billion years. It is 1 billion years. So, yeah. To get people involved in all these agreements, because this is what the Kingdom of Darkness does, right? It's the same old tricks everywhere. It's just the same old tricks in a different outfit every single time. Get people into catch people at a place of desperation, ignorance, or vulnerability. Get them in, get them to sign everything away. And then by the time they wake up, it doesn't matter if they hate you. It doesn't matter if they want to expose you. They've already signed everything off. It's exactly what they do in the entertainment industry. You're desperate to sing. You're desperate to make music. You are like, what is the first thing everybody says when they want to make music? Oh, I just need to get signed by a label. I just need to get signed by a label. And whenever I hear that, I think, whoa, does Satan love it here on planet Earth? Because that's what everybody wants to do. And that's exactly what he wants you to do. So that then when you sign to your label, all of a sudden, now you can sign away a bunch of things you never understood, and it's too late for you now. It's too late, right? That's why people start to do weird and heinous things the further that they get into this stuff, because by this point, well, it's like, well, you already agreed to do everything. You agreed for 1 billion years. Like, you're done. And that's a lie, by the way. I have a whole Selling Your Soul to the Devil playlist. Yeah, check that out. Listen, the Bible says that God, fear not he who can take your life, but he who can take your life and your soul, which is only God, right? So the devil is just trying to convince you away from that, right? Anyway, so Justin, him, new to God, new to faith, gets recruited by what? The church. This is why these people, I've realized, the Scientologists, the more I look into the Scientology thing, the more I realize why they're so obsessed with making everything a church. Like, because they have to be seen to be like the ones who are like the spiritual, godly ones, right? And I even said to you guys before that my actual first video, if you guys don't remember, is I made a video pretty much explaining how Britney Spears' family clearly are not followers of God, because they would be doing all these stuff like, well, we're going to say that Britney, and they say, we're going to say that Britney, we're just praying for her. We just, we're just thankful to God. And I was like, and my second video, when I first like properly started uploading, my first proper video after my intro video was that video, and it got like 1.5k views in like a week. And I was like, wow, did not expect it. Also was so, at that point, the idea of me like reading the Bible talking about Britney Spears seemed so like unacceptable. See how far we've come. You know what I'm saying? And again, who's involved in that? Lou M. Taylor. Who's involved with Justin Bieber, who's recently acquired a lot of his control of his management and this, that, and the other. Lou M. Taylor, the same Lou M. Taylor of Britney Spears. And so then I was like, oh, I see. So then I'm thinking, was this Kris Jenner's plan all along? Because I know one of her methods of destruction in this planet, as the wicked witch of the West that she is, right? I'm so going to start calling them all the wicked witches of the West. Love it. It has the perfect ring to it, right? Just like Jada and her band, the Wicked Wisdom. Anyway, the Wicked Witch of the West, one of them, Kris Jenner, she loves to obviously get all these guys with her daughters, because I feel like she's the driving force behind the scenes. Like, I remember when, because the funny thing is, there was a very early period of time with the Kardashians where I used to actually watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So I'm remembering where we were. Like, I'm remembering where we started and where we are. And I'm just thinking now, I'm realizing how strategic her mum, the Kardashian women, have always been about who they're with. And I know that if they've learned anything from their mum, the men that they choose is not really about love. The person I'm convinced would choose somebody for love would probably be Kourtney, which is why I think she gets a lot of issues with her family and she's a little bit far away, because I think she's a bit uncomfortable with some stuff and maybe she's not prepared to expose everything. But anyways, so yeah, that's me building up the case for why I can 100% believe that the adults that be seeing Justin and with Hailey again, I don't know, the people you hang around says a lot about you, hun, because they are doing what they're doing on the internet, trying to destroy women. Kylie Jenner started all this lip filler business. The Kardashians, there's a woman, I've mentioned her before. I really like her channel. She's called, I think it's Lori Harvey, and she gets plastic surgery. I like her channel because on her channel, she does these in-depth analysis of celebrities, and she can explain and show you how you can clearly see they've had plastic surgery, like the subtle ones, and what they would have had to do to get those plastic surgeries, which is why I just think, you know what? I thank God for that woman's life, because she's really educating people. And then she's also documenting what she does with herself, albeit you guys know I'm not in favor of plastic surgery, but I also am not judging people for it, if that makes sense. I'm just not in favor of it because I just wish and want for us all to love ourselves in, I mean, whatever way that you want to express yourself, I just think risking your life isn't worth it. Let's just put it like that. Risking your life for beauty isn't worth it, if you ask me. So anyway, I can believe that Hailey would be used to try and marry Justin Bieber to then get him into a conservatorship, because what's the purpose of these conservatorships? Let's talk about that for a second. I believe that these conservatorships are a very demonic contract concocted by the Kingdom of Darkness in order to get highly talented, highly popular people enslaved, so that the people in control of these conservatorships can just be making money and utilizing these people as workhorses. That's why for Britney Spears, that's exactly what was happening. There was a point in her life where of all the money that she was making, she was being sent like $500 a month or something. She wasn't able to leave her house. She was being put on lithium, right? We now know also that according to her book coming out, that that Justin Timberlake forced her to have an abortion. We know there was a lot of things that went on behind the scenes. We know that how her mum played a huge role in her ending up in that conservatorship in the first place, because they pretty much set it up to make Britney look crazy, get the whole world to believe that Britney Spears looks crazy, she's lost her way. So then now, because she's lost her way, she needs somebody to help her. She needs somebody to be in control of her life, because she, even though she's an adult person, even though I think she was actually my age when she got put in the conservatorship, isn't that interesting how the world would put all the pressure on somebody like me and be like, oh, you better have it all figured out together, and you better this and you better that, right? But then it'll be the same very world that will look at a situation like with Britney Spears and will be like, oh, her parents need to be in control of everything because she can't manage herself. Oh, is that right? She can't manage herself. Interesting, right? The same woman who up until 2019 was both teaching and performing in her residency show in Las Vegas under all of these drugs. I think she was on the lithium as well when she did America's Got Talent. I don't know if is it America's Got Talent or American X Factor she did. Anyway, and so clearly she was capable. Right? But what do? They're like, oh, she's not fit to have the kids. She doesn't get to be around her children. Oh, she can't be trusted because she's acting crazy, because she's just going on these drives. What's Britney doing? Britney's like, I just wanted to go on a nice drive, which how many of us know how nice it is to go on a nice drive? you need to be losing your mind. In fact, you might be doing that to prevent losing your mind, if anything, to give yourself some peace or whatever. So then they convince everybody in the world that, oh yeah, she needs to be on everyone's, oh, Britney needs to be in this conservatorship, meow, 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 meow. And that's how they justify their actions, sweep her into the conservatorship. 15 years later, 40 years old, she finally gets out of it because her fans, right, those of us who've been saying for a long time that something's up, had to say something for something to change, right? And then we still don't know. I'm not fully convinced, by the way. I'd just like to say that. That's why I think this is actually a big subject. This whole Scientology thing is about to be a freaking thunderstorm on this YouTube channel, right? So we've seen that before. Then I think about Kanye. I think about how strategic it is in society today that, oh yeah, we love to give people these titles of these mental health disorders, so that as soon as they have that mental health disorder, then, oh, it's like, oh, no, that person, they're just having an episode, right? So we don't even stop to listen to what they're saying. We don't even stop to see if they make sense, because like, oh, they're having an episode. And I remember when Kanye West when I was watching his documentary Genius, right? And I was listening to the things that he was saying, and I realized that because people have been so conditioned now to just assume he's talking crazy, that's what makes him seem more crazy, and that's what makes him react more negatively, because it's like no one's listening to him, because no one's taking him seriously, because everybody thinks they know everything about him, because as soon as he's saying anything that's out of pocket as far as the rest of the world is concerned, as soon as he's saying something about an industry that he's actually worked and thrived and could be considered a king in, but you yourself at home, who's never worked a day in your life in the entertainment industry, who's never done anything close to him, somehow sits there on your self-righteous, your high horse of self-righteousness, looking down upon him, saying, oh, Kanye's having another episode. So then you don't listen to what he has to say. So then when somebody said that he got married so he couldn't be put in a conservatorship, I hope that if that's the only reason, I think that was an intelligent move, because he found that woman, the one who was like his assistant. He obviously trusts her. She's obviously had his back. She's probably an angel sent from the Lord. Catch him up in that conservatorship, protecting him from being snatched up in the conservatorship, right? Because there's a whole thing, which I didn't know, that about how, being in the conservatorship means that the person in the conservatorship with you, I don't know, can have a bit more say, which makes me now think, what if Britney's ex-husband actually left for something to do with this? Like, what if he genuinely was like, I can't be a part of this anymore? Or he wasn't, because he was very obedient to these conservators. He was very obedient to James Spears and Lou M. Taylor and all of them. So that might be a smart move on Kanye's part, to just be like, let me just get snatched off of the dating scene before I get caught up. So then get Justin now being under the management of, or some levels of management of Lou M. Taylor. Like I said, I'm going to clarify all of this in another video, but I really wanted to just give you guys the intro now while I was thinking about it. Ends up with Lou M. Taylor, breaks up with Hailey Bieber, who for what seems like for like 10 years, they've been trying to get these two together to get married. Them in marriage, which they're doing it because it's the right Christian thing to do, right? 5 years later, they're now separating. But then he's now in the church, and he's now connected enough into these people that it doesn't even matter if they're together. Maybe Hailey was bored, because to be honest, she was kind of looking sad from the internet, like for people, because a lot of people are team Selena. A lot of people were not a fan of her being with Justin at all. And the Selena fans really came for her, right? So basically, he's perfectly vulnerable now. He's not working with his manager anymore, Scooter, who I always thought was a really cool seeming guy. He seemed pretty genuine, right? Although, again, probably a little bit ignorant to the real Hollywood, because Justin was another one who like went to spend 48 hours with Usher, like in whatever. And we know that Usher had spent some time with Diddy, and like they were like, we can't talk about it because it's this stuff. And I'm pretty sure this is when all these people in the entertainment industries are just being broken in spirit by some kind of demonic rituals going on behind the scenes to these young kids, because the story has happened time and time again where you hear of these people in the entertainment industry and how they were snatched up at young, because Justin, I think, was he found on YouTube? He might have been found on YouTube or somewhere, but anyway. And they get snatched up, and then they get like broken in spirit. They get involved in all this stuff. They think that it's worth it if they get to be famous. They get famous, realize that the fame is nothing. Desperation kicks in, and then a whole bunch of problematic issues come along, whether that be mental health disorders, drug addiction, you name it, or they try to leave the industry and then either get killed or somehow fall upon a really serious mental health issue or end up in a conservatorship. And that's why I'm thinking, if this is what they're actually doing, this is nuts. And you can't tell me it's not crazy how all the people are so connected. Kanye was with Kim, daughter of Chris. Chris, close with Lou. Lou, Chris, connected in a deep way, Scientology. Hailey Bieber, father, Scientology. That's why he's even less known than the other one. How can I not remember the other one? Or am I even saying the wrong Baldwin brother already? Anyway, whichever one is her dad, her actual dad, that's why he's been off the grid, because he's been all up in Scientology, the Church of Scientology, right? And so the dots are all adding up. Everybody's all connected. And the people who are under these conservatorships are always the ones that are pitched to us as some kind of person in need. We buy into it. We don't bat an eyelid when they end up in these conservatorships, because a lot of people would be like, yeah, Kanye should be under a conservatorship. He needs the help. And then you have the likes of Kris Jenner, like, we're so glad to have Kanye back and just have him under our care. As a mom, he's like a son to me because I love him with the love of a mother, because the love of a mother is perfect and there's nothing like it. And it is always 100% true every single time, because that's what the devil needs you to believe, so that evil, wicked witches of the West like me can get away with what I do, because you're all going to believe that I'm the perfect mother, because that's what everybody believes, because that's how it should be, which is why we all believe that. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're aware, it's 2023 and we are far from the intentions of what the Lord intended for families. Families are destroyed. There's a lot of wicked women. There's a lot of people who are enemies in disguise. So I'm not trying to say that mothers aren't loving. I'm trying to say there's a lot of mothers who are acting loving, who aren't loving. And also even these Lou M. Taylors, like, oh, let me help you in your time of need. Like, hashtag the deception of femininity continues. Also, can I just say, it's been like a year and a half now since I made my first deception of femininity video, which you all need to watch, by the way. That's one of those videos you have to watch on my channel, because you'll be surprised at how ahead I was making that video for what everything's happening right now. But anyways, guys, you let me know what you're thinking about this. Let me know what you want to talk about this, because this, for me, I've just realized this is a whole can of worms I did not expect to be finding myself down, connecting the conservatorships, the Scientology. And the funniest part of it all is because I did what? Last week or the week before, whatever week I was in Scotland. Where did I go? Curious about yourself? Free personality test. Scientology. Anyways, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we've got so much to talk about coming up. That's why I've recorded like however many videos today. I can't believe I've talked this much after I've been teaching all morning, all to the afternoon. But it had to be done. It had to be done. Yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because if life's a game, it's play to win. God bless every single one of you watching this, and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.